National Council of Educational Research and Training presents audiobook Honeysuckle, textbook in English for Class 6. Page 1. Notes for the teacher. General. 1. Learning a language means using it for a wide variety of purposes. Language is best acquired when attention is focused on meaning, not on form. 2. Words and phrases not closely related to objects and action remain empty and lifeless to young learners. Language comes alive when presented in meaning-making contexts. 3. Words, phrases that are used to accomplish many useful purposes follow a certain system inherent in the language itself. 4. Learners become familiar with the system through continuous exposure to the language in meaning-focused situations. 5. Interaction, discussion, and sharing of ideas among learners provide opportunities that elicit real information about them and their experiences and opinions. 6. Encourage learners to work in pairs and small groups and let them go beyond the textbook by providing a variety of language inputs for spontaneous and natural use of language. 7. Build on the exercises given in the textbook and design more tasks, activities in keeping with learners' interests, needs, and surroundings. Employ free response exercises with more than one possible response. 8. Promote reading habits through story reading, not merely teaching stories as texts, story retelling, choral reading, shared reading, etc. 9. Create class libraries for exchange of books and shared reading. The library may also move with children to the next higher class. 10. Poems need not be taught line by line, word by word. You may give a model reading, but let every child read the poem on his own to feel the richness of language, rhythm, and music of words. Exercises accompanying the poem are more for understanding the poem as a whole than for teaching language items. Page 2. 11. Encourage learners to tell new stories, narrate anecdotes, compose short poems in English or their own language, talk about pictures, illustrations in the book, and cartoons in newspapers, magazines. Don't get anxious about the errors they will make. Constant exposure, practice, and correction in the form of feedback will help them improve themselves by and by. 12. Every page has a column for words and meanings. Encourage children to write down other words they find difficult, along with their meanings in this column. Units 1 to 3. 1. Who did Patrick's homework? 1. Magical realism. There is no magic here, only make believe. It's Patrick's own inspiration personified. He does his homework himself. Self-help is the best help. 2. Children will be keenly interested to talk about homework and whether they like or don't like it. Discussion may take place in small groups before the entire class is engaged in arriving at a set of common points. Teacher to monitor and moderate the discussion. 3. Discussion about homework may be enlivened by taking a close look at the cartoon under Speaking. 4. Comprehension questions to be taken up orally before well-formulated answers are put down on paper. 5. Crossword puzzle to be attempted by learners independently. Provide additional clues if necessary. A house, a home. Draw children's attention to the following. 1. There is no place like home. 2. Charity begins at home. Page 3. 3. The difference between home and house may be exemplified by using house or home appropriately to fill the blanks. 1. He lives in a rented blank. 2. Rana worked in Singapore for 5 years. Then he returned blank. 3. Blank is where the heart is. 4. The red blank in front of us belongs to Mr. Lal. 2. How the dog found himself a new master. 1. Folk tale. Folk tales are popular stories passed on generally in spoken form from one generation to the next. 2. Tell the story before asking children to read the text. 3. Divide it into 3 or 4 parts, each part ending where the listener wonders what comes next. 4. Word search, clues to be explained at length before it is attempted. All hidden words are adjectives. Another word search for nouns or verbs can easily be prepared in class. 5. Under working with language, items B and C will lend themselves to formation of connected sentences. There was once a peasant who owned a flock of sheep. He loved his sheep like members of the family. B. What would you prefer, a bunch of flowers or a storybook? Remember, tomorrow is your birthday. C. Cruelty to animals is a sin. Stop it by all means. D. Kindness doesn't cost anything. Why are people not kind to one another? 6. The dog family activity will need time and patience. Complete the family tree of dogs yourself before taking it up in class. Pronounce coyote like coy rhymes with boy. Oat rhymes with boat. With I at the end. Sound as in C. Page 4. The kite. 1. Let children cull out pairs of rhyming words additionally. They may also pick up other words like kite, breeze, dive, etc. and form new pairs. 2. Ask children to look for words that are associated with a bird, tail, for example. 3. Words of action can be emphasized by lingering a little on dive, dip, soars, climbs, and flaps. 4. After a few readings, children will become familiar with words and phrases. Ask for volunteers to recite the poem with appropriate gestures. 5. Kite making is a productive activity. Ensure its performance by involving groups of children and helping them put the materials into shape. Invite the art, craft teacher to join in. Words and action to go together in the activity. Taro's reward. 1. Asian values, a hint of magic. 2. While telling the story, draw children's attention to situations in which they can see themselves. Elicit their comments on and reactions to hard work, sincerity, care, and respect for the elderly, especially one's parents. 4. Let learners read and reread relevant portions to the text to answer comprehension questions. 5. In working with language, give them enough time and let them work together, discuss and arrive at appropriate responses to the items. 6. There is a tongue twister in the speaking activity. This is sure to interest every child. You may find more tongue twisters or ask children to collect more, including some in their own language. They may be taken up as a group project. Page 5. Here is one tongue twister for you. She sells seashells on the seashore. The shells she sells are seashells, I'm sure. For if she sells seashells on the seashore, then I'm sure she sells seashore shells. The quarrel. 1. Discuss the points provided at the beginning of the poem. 2. After reading and rereading of the text and completion of exercises, try the following activity. Ask children to rearrange the lines given here. Write them on the blackboard first so that it reads like a poem. The first line is the opening line. I quarrelled with my brother. The only one I have, no other. I quarrelled with my brother. The only one I have, no other. Was there a fight? What was the quarrel about? No, he was actually right. Which one? I don't remember, but we fell out. 3. Draw their attention to the rhyming words in rearranging lines. 4. Can they redo the second stanza in the same way? Encourage them to try it.